Good morning friends. Today we are going to see the applications of Fourier's law for solving the numericals on the heat conduction. Okay. As we know, Fourier law is given mathematically by Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx, where Q is heat transfer rate by conduction mode of heat transfer. This K is the thermal conductivity of the material, A is area normal to the direction of heat transfer, and dt by dx is nothing but temperature gradient. Okay, so this I have already explained in the previous lectures. Okay, now we are going to apply this particular law of three cases, that is heat transfer rate through a slab or you can say wall. Okay, second one, heat transfer rate through hollow cylinder, and the third one we are going to apply it for hollow sphere. Now you are saying, sir, why three shapes only, that is wall, cylinder and sphere? The reason for it is, in most of the practical applications, the systems, thermal systems for which we are doing conduction analysis, most of the industrial applications resembles to either flat wall, that is slab, or either they are hollow cylinders or either they are hollow spheres. Okay, let's take an example of this wall. Now you know refrigerator cabinet. This is a refrigerator. Now inside the cabinet, this is the door of the refrigerator and this one is the door of the refrigerator. Okay, this one is the back portion of the refrigerator. By opening the door, we are keeping the substances inside the refrigerator wall. Okay, so you know inside the refrigerator the temperature is below atmosphere. The surrounding is, let us say, 25 degrees Celsius, and inside the refrigerator, let us say, temperature is 5 degrees Celsius. So what is going to happen? Heat is trying to leak from outside through the walls, because heat always flows from high temperature to low temperature body. Okay, so heat is flowing from outside to inside. Okay, with the help of different modes of heat transfer, either conduction or convection. Okay, I will tell you about that, how the heat is flowing from atmosphere to inside of the refrigerator and by which modes, that I will cover later. Here we are going to cover only the thickness of this wall. Okay, to understand the conduction phenomena, to understand only conduction. So if I am putting this wall is having certain thickness. Okay, if I am taking this wall only, let us consider this is the right hand side wall. Only this wall I am going to consider. Okay, now I will rub it. And let's take about the wall. Okay, a single wall of a refrigerator cabinet, or maybe a chiller, or maybe a furnace wall, you can say. Okay, the left side of the wall is at temperature T1, this is at temperature T2, and it is given that T1 is greater than T2. Okay, this material, this wall is made up of, let us say, concrete. It has a thermal conductivity K. And this thickness is given by, let us say, X. Okay. So if I am drawing this beam from this direction, how it looks? Let us say this is the thickness of the wall. This is at temperature T1. Okay. This one is at temperature T2. It is made up of material concrete. And it has thermal conductivity K. K is the property of this concrete material. This wall is having thickness. What is this thickness? This thickness is X. And I have given, let us say, the case T1 is greater than T2. What is T1? T1 is temperature on the left hand face of the wall, and T2 is, let us say, temperature on the wall on the right face. Okay, so T1 is greater than T2. So my question is, how the heat is flowing? Heat is flowing always from high temperature wall to the low temperature surface. So this is high temperature surface, this is the low temperature surface, and this one is concrete, it's a solid. So naturally the conduction is going to happen from this to this end. So here heat is conducted, and that is given by Q conduction, let us say. Heat is conducted in this direction, okay, because T1 is higher than T2, okay. This wall is having surface area A. This wall is having the surface area. I am drawing this figure, isometric figure. So this area, heat is flowing like this across this wall, and it's coming out. So what is the area perpendicular to the direction of heat flow? Because in Fourier law, this A is area perpendicular to the direction of heat flow, and this area is given by, what is the area? Let us say it is symbolically denoted by letter capital A, okay. So this is having the area A, this wall is having the area A, okay. You can see here in isometric, this is the area perpendicular to the direction heat is flowing in this direction. So what is the area? Area perpendicular to the direction of heat flow is capital, denoted by letter capital A. Now for this particular case, this slab case, we want to determine the heat transfer rate because of the conduction mode of heat transfer. Now how to do it? Let us see. I am starting with the derivation. What is the basic Fourier law? Q is equal to, I am deriving the equation for heat transfer rate through a slab or wall. So the first case, okay. So I am writing this case. Now I am writing the Fourier law for the slab. You have to start with this figure and this figure, okay. Just locate T1, T2, denote thermal conductivity, show the direction of heat transfer, show the thickness, show the area, and write the condition. Heat is flowing from left to right, इसका मतलब T1 is always greater than T2, remember. Okay, this is the start of the derivation. Now we have to start deriving the equation. What is the formula? If your numerical consists of the flat wall or a slab like object, so we have to use that particular formula as an equation to get the answer of heat transfer rate, and that's why we are deriving the equation. What is the basis? You know, for conduction mode of heat transfer, it is a solid, and you know through solid conduction happens, okay. So for a conduction mode of heat transfer, what is the fundamental law? The fundamental law is the Fourier law. Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. Now what I will do, I will separate out the variables. I will take the dx on left hand side. So what it becomes? Q dx is equal to minus Ka dt, as it is Ka dt. Now this is the fundamental equation for which I am going to apply the limits. What are the limits? See here. Your thickness changes from, what is the value of thickness here? At left hand face, at this left hand face, x is equal to 0, and on right hand side face, what is x? X equal to x. So the value of x is varying from 0 to x. It is varying from 0 to x, okay. So what I will do, this Q integration, I am integrating the differential equation. This dx is having limit from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to x. X is equal to 0 is on left face of the wall or slab, and x is equal to x, this one, this is on right hand side face of the wall. So dx, x is equal to 0 to x, dx is equal to minus K A. What is the differential term here? K and A is constant because this wall is fixed, so its area is fixed. So its area comes out of integration sign. Second thing, concrete is having a constant thermal conductivity K. So K is also not going to be changed. So K I will take as a constant, K and A. So what is the differential? What is changing thing? It's only a temperature. आपको पता है T1 is the highest temperature, T2 is the lowest temperature, okay? And यहाँ बीच में टेम्परेचर T1 और T2 के बीच में ही होगा. As I am moving from left hand side to right hand side, slowly temperature go on decreasing. So you will observe the difference in temperature right from T1 to T2. On left hand wall it is T1, on right hand side or T2. In between somewhere it is between T1 and T2. Okay. So what is the integration here? Dt. Limits are on the left face when x is 0. that is left face. What is the temperature? T1. So I will write here T1. On right face, when x is x, so the temperature is T2. On right face, the temperature is T2. So what are the limits for temperature? T1 to T2. Now it's simple mathematics. We have to solve this equation. So Q is equal to, what is the integration of dx? X. And what are the limits? 0 to x. On right hand side, minus k is constant. What is the differentiation of dt? It's only t. And what are the limits? T1 to T2. Okay. Now, next, just put the limits here. Q, x minus 0, upper limit minus lower limit, minus k, upper minus lower, it is T2 minus T1. Okay. Now I will complete the derivation here. Now, just reshuffle the terms. Q into x, Q into x is equal to, I will remove this minus sign by changing the position of T1 and T2. ये माइनस साइन अपने आप जाएगा जब मैं T2 माइनस T1 को कन्वर्ट करूंगा T1 माइनस T2 में, या ये माइनस साइन यहाँ मल्टीप्लाई कर दो. व्हाट यू विल गेट? मुझे माइनस साइन हटाना है यहाँ से. व्हाट यू विल गेट? के ये सिर्फ T1 T2 की जगह आएगा, T2 T1 की जगह जाएगा. जस्ट दे आर चेंजिंग द पोजीशन, क्योंकि माइनस साइन मल्टीप्लाई हो गया है. सो इट इज T1 माइनस T2. सो व्हाट इज द हीट ट्रांसफर रेट? Q is equal to K by x T1 minus T2, and this is the formula for heat transfer rate. This is the formula for heat transfer rate through a slab. So whenever in heat transfer you are having the objects which consist of walls, and we have to determine heat transfer rate by conduction mode of heat transfer through the wall, we have to use this formula. Q is equal to K by x T1 minus T2. Now let's come to the second step, and that is nothing but heat transfer rate through hollow cylinder. Okay, heat transfer. Now I am going to derive the second equation for heat transfer rate through a hollow cylinder. Now how it comes in? Heat transfer rate through a hollow cylinder. If I am giving a practical example of it, it is a steam carrying pipe. Just I am showing a little bigger so that you will understand it properly. Let us say this is a cross section of the pipe, two circle, which is having an inner radius R1 and outer radius as R2. Inner radius is R1 and outer radius is R2. Okay. Now let's imagine steam is flowing through the pipe, through the inside of the pipe. So steam is having higher temperature, let us say T1, and this outer surface of the pipe is definitely colder as compared to the inside surface temperature. Why? Because steam is flowing through it, so inner surface is more hotter as compared to outer surface. Outer surface is in contact with surrounding. Okay, so this is at temperature T2. So which one is greater? Definitely T1 is greater than T2. So T1 is greater than T2. So this is the condition what I have assumed, okay, for deriving the equation. Now this is the surface 1, that is inner surface, and number 2 denotes outer surface. देखो मैंने R1 symbol कहाँ दिया है? Inner surface पे. So 1 is the inner surface and 2 represents outer surface. R1 is the radius of inner surface and R2 is the radius of outer surface. And this is what? This is hollow cylinder. Of course it has certain length. This cylinder is having a certain length, and what is the length of the cylinder? L is equal to length of cylinder. Okay, if I am drawing this figure in isometric, how it looks? So this is the hollow pipe. Okay, it has the radius R1 and outer radius is R2, and this is nothing but your length L. Okay. Now this pipe is made up of, this cylinder is made up of some material, let us say steel. Let us say steel. It has a thermal conductivity K. It has thermal conductivity for K, which is constant throughout the material. Okay. This is assumption. K is a constant for this steel material or maybe copper material or maybe any another material. Okay, because this pipe is made up of material and K is a material property. So K is constant. Okay. T1 is greater than T2. K is constant. Okay. Now I am going to apply this Fourier law for this hollow cylinder case. Okay. So whenever we are considering flow through the heat exchangers in industry, in thermal industry, they are made up of generally pipes. So wherever such geometry comes, hollow cylinder case comes, we have to use the formula which we are going to derive in the next 5 minutes. Okay. Now earlier formula is applicable for whenever there is a flat surface walls like refrigerator wall, like furnace wall, like chiller wall, you can use that formula applicable for slab. Whenever the flow through takes place through the pipe, okay, and heat transfer takes place across the surface of the pipe, you have to use the formula for a hollow cylinder. Okay, for that applications we are deriving the equation. Now we are going to determine heat transfer rate through a hollow cylinder. So how to do it? Write the Fourier law. Q is equal to minus K dt by dx. Now you know how the heat is coming out. Heat is coming, in last lecture I have discussed this. Heat is coming in a radial direction. Okay. So Q is equal to minus K dt by. Instead of doing x here, please write R. Why? Because heat is now not flowing in a axial direction. It is flowing in which direction? Radial direction, from inner to outer radius. Okay, from steam to air across this wall. तो यहाँ आपका कंडक्शन हो जाएगा इस वॉल में. यहाँ से इस सरफेस पे हीट कैसे जाएगी बताओ? It is by conduction mode of heat transfer. क्यों कंडक्शन बताओ? यहाँ मटेरियल एग्जिस्टिंग है. जहाँ भी मटेरियल होगा वहाँ मॉलिक्यूल एक दूसरे को हीट देंगे, तो इनके बीच में इनर टू आउटर सरफेस को हीट जाएगी. कंडक्शन मोड ऑफ हीट ट्रांसफर. T1 is the inner surface and T2 is the outer surface temperature. T1 ज्यादा है T2 से, तो हीट यहाँ से कंडक्ट होगी, तो एंड इसकी कंडक्टिविटी है K. ओके, तो बट इट इज इन रेडियल डायरेक्शन. दिस डायरेक्शन इज व्हिच वन? This is a radial direction. So instead of writing x is linear. तो जो स्लैब में हुआ था, see here, this is a slab. मैंने बताया आपको लास्ट डेरिवेशन में. So heat is flowing in this direction. So this is x. So इसीलिए मैंने यहाँ x लिया था. But here, in case of hollow cylinder, you have to write as it is flowing in radial direction. You have to write minus k dt by dr. Okay. Now I will again separate out variables. How? dr. I will take on this side. Okay. I will take this area also on this side. Why? आप बोलेंगे सर एरिया कांस्टेंट है. यहाँ एरिया कांस्टेंट नहीं है. उसका एक रीजन मैं बताता हूँ. If the heat is flowing in radial direction, what is the perpendicular area? क्योंकि आपको पता है Fourier law में area is always perpendicular to the direction of heat flow. So what is the perpendicular area? In case of hollow sphere, what is perpendicular area? This is perimeter 2 pi r into the length of the cylinder. That is the perpendicular area. Heat is flowing in a radial direction. So see, steam is flowing like this and heat is flowing radially outward. So what is the area? Perimeter into length. 2 pi r is the perimeter of this circle, inner circle. 2 pi r into n, and r की वैल्यू इट इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम r1 to r2. r की वैल्यू चेंज हो रही है इनर रेडियस से लेके आउटर रेडियस तक r1 to r2. सो व्हाट इज एरिया? परपेंडिकुलर एरिया 2 pi r l. दिस आई हैव ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन इन लास्ट लेक्चर में. सो माइनस k, व्हाट इज एरिया? 2 pi r into n and dt by dr as it is. Okay, dt by dr as it is. आपने dr इस तरफ लिया था, so I am putting only dt here. dr is on this side and area की वैल्यू मैंने पुट कर दी. ओके, नाउ हियर आपको पता है सारे वेरिएबल्स, अभी यहाँ वेरिएबल क्या क्या चेंज हो रहा है? dr इज अ वेरिएबल एंड dt इज अ वेरिएबल. क्यों? रेडियस आपकी r1 R2 तक बदल रही है, इसका मतलब रेडियस इज चेंजिंग, सो इट इज dr। एंड एट द सेम टाइम इनर रेडियस पे आपका टेम्परेचर था T1 और आउटर रेडियस पे आपका टेम्परेचर है T2। तो जैसे जैसे रेडियस R1 से R2 को टच हो रही है, टेम्परेचर आपका T1 से लेके T2 तक कम हो रहा है। ओके, सो वी विल सेपरेट आउट द वेरिएबल, जहां R है वहां मैं R लूंगा, सो Q dr, ये R मैं लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को लूंगा अपॉन R माइनस बाकी क्या रहा है 2 पाई k L, ओके, एंड फाइनली इट इज dt। नाउ क्वेश्चन ये है कि आपको इंटीग्रेट किसको करना है, व्हाट आर द वेरिएबल्स दैट शुड बी इनसाइड द इंटीग्रेशन साइन। क्या बदल रहा है, योर dr इज चेंजिंग, रेडियस इज चेंजिंग और रेडियस के साथ साथ टेम्परेचर बदल रहा है। तो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को dr इंटीग्रेशन के अंदर रहेगा और राइट हैंड साइड को dt इंटीग्रेशन के अंदर रहेगा। नाउ टेक द इंटीग्रेशन, q इंटीग्रेशन dr by r, क्योंकि रेडियस वेरिएबल है, आपकी रेडियस की वैल्यू r1 से r2 को बदल रही है, तो वो सारा r के टर्म सारे इंटीग्रेशन के अंदर आएंगे। व्हाट आर द लिमिट्स, रेडियस इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम इनर रेडियस टू आउटर रेडियस, सो द लिमिट्स आर r1 to r2, right hand side is equal to minus 2 pi k L is length of the pipe is also constant, it is the geometry of the pipe, so it is a constant term, length. Thermal conductivity is also constant, 2 pi k, okay. Now what is the variable then, only temperature, so that remains inside the integration sign dt. What are the limits, जब आपकी रेडियस r1 थी, what is the temperature, r1 को टेम्परेचर क्या है T1, वॉल पे इनर सरफेस पे टेम्परेचर क्या है T1 और इनर सरफेस की रेडियस क्या है R1, सो हियर T1 एंड आउटर सरफेस जब रेडियस R2 हुई, व्हाट इज द टेम्परेचर T2, ये देखो रेडियस R2 आउटर टेम्परेचर इज T2, सो लिमिट्स आर T1 to T2, रेडियस इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम R1 to R2, टेम्परेचर इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम T1 to T2। नाउ जस्ट सॉल्व इट, हाउ टू सॉल्व, ओके, आई विल कंप्लीट दिस डेरिवेशन इन दिस पार्ट, ओके, ये डेरिवेशन मैं यहां कंप्लीट करता हूं। लेट्स सी, q what is dr by r, what is the integration of this, it is natural log of r, what are the limits, r1 to r2 is equal to, this is constant term minus 2 pi k into L, what is the integration of dt, so simple, it's capital T, integration is capital T, what are the limits, T1 to T2, let's solve this, upper limit minus lower limit, substitute the limits in this integrated term, q natural log of r2 minus natural log of r1 minus r1 is equal to minus 2 pi k L upper minus lower T2 minus T1। Now what next, आपको पता है दोनों लॉग का जब माइनस होता है तो हम उस नेचुरल लॉग को रेशो में ले सकते हैं, सो हाउ, q नेचुरल लॉग ऑफ r2 by r1, दोनों लॉग का माइनस मैंने रेशो में लिया, r2 minus r1 इज इक्वल टू, ये माइनस साइन है यहाँ कॉम्पेंसेट करूंगा इनकी पोजीशन बदल के, जैसे लास्ट डेरिवेशन में किया था हमने, तो 2 pi k L T1 minus T2, so what is the final derivation for q, heat transfer rate through a hollow cylinder, q is equal to 2 pi k L T1 minus T2 divided by, this term goes on denominator, natural log of R2 by R1, and this is the derivation or formula which we are going to use when we are analyzing heat flow across the hollow cylinder or hollow pipes, okay, so we are getting formula number 2 here, पहला formula आपने लिखा होगा, this is the second formula which we have to use for the cases of hollow cylinder or hollow pipes, okay. Now we are going to derive the third equation and that is applicable for hollow spheres। तो आप मुझे क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे सर hollow sphere की केस कहाँ हो सकती है, जनरली स्पेस एप्लीकेशन में जो भी फ्लूइड कैरी होते हैं वो ज्यादातर स्फीयर कंटेनर में कैरी होते हैं, ओके, स्फेरिकल कंटेनर्स, ओके, Why spherical containers? Because they are having less area to volume ratio. Okay, so in such cases, heat transfer, whatever is involved, that conduction heat transfer rate across that spherical wall is analyzed with the help of the third formula that we are going to derive now. So I will rub this derivation, and again we will start with the fresh one. Okay, fresh figure everything. Now यहाँ क्या लिखूंगा मैं? हीट ट्रांसफर रेट थ्रू हॉलो स्फीयर। तो स्फीयर को आप कैसे निकालोगे फिगर में? Okay, this sphere is having radius r1, inner radius r1, outer radius r2. Let's imagine the hot substance, hot gas is filled here. Because of that hot gas, inner surface is having higher temperature and surrounding is at lower temperature. So outer surface is at lower temperature, inner surface is at temperature T1, and outer surface is maintained at temperature T1 to T2. And as this is a hot gas, this T1 is having higher temperature as compared to T2. This is my assumption while deriving the equation. आप बोलोगे सर जरूरी नहीं ये भी हॉट हो सकता है, ये ठंडा हो सकता है, उससे सराउंडिंग में भी हॉट एंड दिस में भी कोल्ड, तो फिर ये फॉर्मूला नहीं चलेगा क्या? व्हाटएवर वी आर डिराइविंग, क्योंकि मैंने इस असम्पशन पे उसको डिराइव किया है। तो आप बोलेंगे ये जो आपने फॉर्मूला डिराइव किया वो सिर्फ कब काम में आएगा? जब अंदर का गर्म होगा बाहर से तक। नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है। This formula you can utilize when outside is also hotter as compared to inside surface. How? That I will tell you later. Okay. पहले हम ऐसे मान के चलेंगे कि inner surface is hotter as compared to outer surface temperature. So heat is flowing radially out. Okay. This is assumption, and on the basis of this assumption we are deriving the equation. लेकिन ये याद रखो कि जो फॉर्मूला आएगा वो फॉर्मूला आपको जब बाहर का गर्म रहेगा, means heat is going radially in that case also we can utilize that formula without having any problem. तो आप बोलेंगे सर कैसे? तो I will tell you that later on. Okay, this sphere is having thermal conductivity K. Okay, now I am writing the Fourier law. What is the Fourier law? Q is equal to minus K dt. Now question is whether I should write dx? No. Why? Because heat is not flowing in a linear direction. Heat is flowing in a radially outward direction from inside of the sphere to outside of the sphere. यहां से लेके यहां तक क्या होने वाला है? कंडक्शन। क्या होने वाला है? कंडक्शन। Because the sphere is made up of solid material. And आपको पता है सॉलिड में कंडक्शन होता है। इनर सरफेस से आउटर सरफेस से हीट कैसे जाएगी? बाय कंडक्शन। एंड वही तो हमें डिटरमाइन करना है। हीट ट्रांसफर रेट थ्रू हॉलो स्फीयर बाय व्हाट? कंडक्शन। इसीलिए तो मैं हर बार कंडक्शन का लॉ यूज कर रहा हूं, फूरियर लॉ ऑफ हीट कंडक्शन। सो एज हियर इट्स अ स्फीयर, हियर नो एक्सियल डायरेक्शन, इट इज रेडियल डायरेक्शन dr, जस्ट लाइक hollow cylinder. ओके, नाउ अगेन q आई विल सेपरेट आउट द वेरिएबल, dr इस तरफ जाएगा, माइनस k a। एरिया क्या लिखोगे? व्हाट इज द परपेंडिकुलर एरिया फॉर द स्फीयर? ये मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया था। व्हाट इज द एरिया फॉर द स्फीयर? सरफेस एरिया 4 pi r square, एंड r की वैल्यू इनर रेडियस से आउटर रेडियस तक कंटिन्यूअसली बदल रही है। मिनिमम है r1, मैक्सिमम है r2। ओके, सो व्हाट इज एरिया? 4 pi r square एंड dt by dr एज इट इज। dr मैं ऑलरेडी ट्रांसफर कर चुका हूं इस तरफ, तो इट्स ओनली dt। नाउ फिर से आपको पता है क्या क्या बदल रहा है? रेडियस इज चेंजिंग एंड टेम्परेचर इज चेंजिंग, इसीलिए मैंने इसको d लगाया। dr मींस रेडियस इज चेंजिंग, dt टेम्परेचर इज चेंजिंग। रेडियस इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम r1 टू r2 एंड टेम्परेचर इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम t1 टू t2। इनर रेडियस पे टेम्परेचर है t1, आउटर सरफेस पे टेम्परेचर है t2। तो अभी आपको वेरिएबल मालूम पड़े तो आप सेपरेट करोगे। क्यों? r के टर्म लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में होगा मैं dr, ये r स्क्वायर इस तरफ जाएगा इज इक्वल टू, बताओ, ये माइनस के कांस्टेंट। ओके, इसको मैं ऐसे लिख सकता हूं, 4 पाई पहले लूंगा फिर के, 4 पाई के। ओके, आर स्क्वायर इस तरफ आया हुआ है एंड डी डी, बस These are the separation of the variable. Now you have to apply the integration and you have to use the limits. R के लिए लिमिट है R1 to R2 एंड टेम्परेचर के लिए लिमिट्स है T1 to T2. लिमिट्स किसको होते हैं? जो वेरिएबल होता है वो R को और टेम्परेचर को, बाकी सारे कांस्टेंट है, वो इंटीग्रेशन के हमें बाहर रखना है. सो Q इंटीग्रेशन dr by r square इज इक्वल टू बताओ यहाँ -4 pi k कांस्टेंट. 4 pi तो आपको पता है कांस्टेंट ही है. K इज अ प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ दिस मटेरियल. जैसे कि ये होलो स्फीयर कॉपर का बना हुआ है तो उसकी कंडक्टिविटी कांस्टेंट ही है. सो 4 pi k दैट इज एक्चुअली असम्पशन. कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ दिस मटेरियल इज एज्यूम्ड टू बी कांस्टेंट. सो 4 pi k इज कांस्टेंट एंड इंटीग्रेशन जो आपका डिफरेंशियल है, चेंजिंग टर्म है, वेरिएबल है, वो इंटीग्रेशन के अंदर आएगा. एंड व्हाट आर द लिमिट्स फॉर टेम्परेचर? टेम्परेचर इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम T1 to T2. So T1 to T2. Now let's solve this. I will complete this derivation, this part here. Okay, just concentrate. इसके बाद यहाँ लिखा हुआ है Q. What is the integration of 1 by r square dr? It is -1 by r. What? यहाँ लिमिट्स क्या होंगे ये बताओ? dr by r square. r की लिमिट क्या है? r1 से लेके r2. So I will put it limits here r1 to r2. So please tell me, what is the integration of dr by r square? It is -1 by r. What are the limits? r1 to r2 is equal to, now right hand side solve it, -4 pi k. What is the integration of dt? It's t from T1 to T2, from T1 to T2. Just solve this. Substitute upper limit minus lower limit. So q -1 by, ये माइनस साइन में बाहर निकालता हूं, ये माइनस इधर आ गया. ओके, ये माइनस इधर आ गया तो ये क्या होगा? 1 by r2 माइनस अपर लिमिट माइनस लोअर लिमिट, 1 by r2 माइनस 1 by r1. ओके, ये माइनस मैंने बाहर निकाला. ओके, दिस माइनस आई हैव टेकन ऑन लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, यहाँ सबसे लेफ्ट को, एंड सिंपली क्या किया? अपर लिमिट माइनस लोअर लिमिट. 1 by r जो था 1 by r2 माइनस 1 by r1. ओके, यहाँ तक आप समझे. अभी इसके बाद -4 pi k माइनस 4 pi k ब्रैकेट में अपर माइनस लोअर T2 माइनस T1. ओके, नाउ व्हाट टू डू? इस माइनस को मैं हटा दूंगा. कैसे? इसकी पोजीशन इंटरचेंज करके. Q 1 by r1 माइनस 1 by r2, और इस माइनस को भी मैं खा जाऊंगा. कैसे? इनको रिशफल करो. खाना मींस क्या? ये माइनस मैंने इसको मल्टीप्लाई किया है ब्रैकेट के अंदर के टर्म को, तो क्या होगा? सिर्फ पोजीशन बदल जाएगी इनकी और माइनस साइन गायब हो जाएगा. सो व्हाट इज दैट? 4 pi k. T2 माइनस T1 की जगह माइनस जाने के बाद क्या होगा? T1 माइनस T2 होगा. नाउ जस्ट रिशफल. हमें किसका आंसर निकालना है? सिर्फ हीट ट्रांसफर रेट का, दैट इज वैट Q. ओके, तो Q क्या होगा? Q, इसको पहले सॉल्व कर लेते हैं. क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करो, क्या आएगा? R2 माइनस R1 डिवाइडेड बाय R1 R2. ओके, इज इक्वल टू 4 pi k T1 minus T2. ओके, एंड फाइनली माय इक्वेशन बिकम्स, इसी को मैं कंटिन्यू करता हूं इस तरफ. माय इक्वेशन बिकम्स, जस्ट सी देयर, Q is equal to, because I am finally interested in calculating heat transfer rate, so keep only Q on left hand side. Q is equal to 4 pi k T1 minus T2 divided by this bracket comes here on denominator, divided by R2 minus R1 upon R1 R2. Okay, or you can say like this, Q is equal to, ये टर्म भी आप इसको डायरेक्ट मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते थे. 4 pi k, ये R1 R2 कहाँ जाएगा? यहाँ मल्टीप्लाई में जाएगा. R1 R2 T1 minus T2, this will go to multiplication with the 4 pi k divided by R2 minus R1. So this is the formula which we obtain for the third case, that is hollow sphere. Okay, so just look at this. Try to practice it number of times so that you can derive it more easily. Now I will summarize all three derivations together. Okay, I will rub everything. अगर आपको कंडक्शन हीट ट्रांसफर रेट अक्रॉस स्लैब, अक्रॉस हॉलो सिलेंडर और अक्रॉस स्फीयर निकालना है, तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? आपको ये तीनों इक्वेशन यूज करने पड़ेंगे डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट इज गिवन इन द न्यूमेरिकल, या कौन सी सिस्टम में एनालाइज करना चाहता हूं। इफ आई एम एनालाइजिंग फॉर स्लैब और वॉल, स्लैब भी कहते हैं वॉल को, स्लैब या फ्लैट वॉल, जैसे कि ये देखो रूफ का टॉप, हम उसको स्लैब बोलते हैं, स्लैब। ओके, या रेफ्रिजरेटर की वॉल या चिलर की वॉल या फर्नेस की वॉल, ऐसे कुछ भी एग्जांपल जहां भी फ्लैट वॉल एनकाउंटर होगी और जिसके अक्रॉस हीट ट्रांसफर हो रहा है और उसका कंडक्शन हीट ट्रांसफर रेट अगर आपको निकालना है, तो आप कौन सा इक्वेशन यूज करेंगे बताओ? जो पहले हमने डिराइव किया था, K/S T1 - T2, where Q is the heat transfer rate by conduction, K is the thermal conductivity of that wall, A is the area perpendicular to the direction of heat flow, X is what? Thickness of the wall, T1 is higher temperature and T2 is lower temperature for the wall. कौन सा भी हायर हो सकता है, कौन सा भी लोअर हो सकता है। ओके, सो Q, इफ अगर हीट एक्सचेंजर है और उसमें पाइप्स है, हॉलो सिलेंडर जैसे केस है, तो वहां अगर आपको कंडक्शन रेट कैलकुलेट करना है, तो व्हाट इज द फार्मूला व्हिच वी हैव डिराइव्ड? Q इज इक्वल टू, याद करो, 2 पाई KL T1 - T2 डिवाइडेड बाय नेचुरल लॉग ऑफ R2 by R1, डिवाइडेड बाय नेचुरल लॉग ऑफ R2 by R1। एंड द थर्ड फार्मूला, जहां भी हमें स्फीयर आएगा, स्फीयर के अंदर कुछ रखा है, मे बी कोल्ड सब्सटेंस और हॉट सब्सटेंस, एंड स्फीयर के अक्रॉस मुझे हीट ट्रांसफर रेट कैलकुलेट करनी है, तो वी आर गोइंग टू यूज द थर्ड फार्मूला, Q इज इक्वल टू अभी डिराइव किया, बताओ, 4 पाई K R1 R2 T1 - T2 डिवाइडेड बाय R2 - R1। तो आपको ये तीनों फॉर्मूले याद रखने हैं। जब जो केस होगी, स्लैब की है तो ये यूज करना है, सिलेंडर की रही तो ये यूज करना है, हॉलो स्फीयर की रही तो ये यूज करना है। So depending on the application, you have to choose the proper equation for the thermal analysis. Okay, that's it for today. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about the electrical analogy of heat transfer, analogy of heat transfer, and the concept of thermal resistance। ओके, ये हमें अगले लेक्चर में पढ़ना है। So that's it for today. In the next lecture, I will continue with this. If you are having any query, you can come back to me. You either call me or we can discuss directly. Thank you.